talked about as we were getting ready for the game down in Huntsville, Texas, that if there's ever been a stretch drive in this league, there is one going on right now, because you've got 6 teams with 6 wins in the league. You've got 2 teams in a flat-footed tie for the lead right now. There is a lot that's going to happen in the next 6-7 days.
Yeah, you just said it. We talked about it last week, and we're still kind of in the same boat a week later, where everything's jumbled up, and you can see some big movement just off of one night's worth of games. All the teams are kind of stacked right on top of each other, so every possession counts this time of year, and we'll see where it happens. We got a big one tomorrow, and got to go on the road to La Tech on Saturday, so it's a big week for us and everybody else in this league.
Well, when you going into that last Saturday, looking at remaining schedules, you had Middle had easily had the hardest schedule with both Louisiana Tech and Sam Houston, who are tied for the lead, and a very good Liberty team.
Yeah, if you back up to the Western game going into that weekend, we were at a tie for 4th heading into the Western Kentucky game. At that point, we had 4 games left, and our 4 opponents were in 1, 2, 3, 4. So we had a tough stretch down towards the end, and we're halfway through it and got 2 to go.
Well, last week we sat here and said if it ended today, that Middle would play at 5:30. It would play at 5:30 on Thursday against Jacksonville State. Well, that was last week. This week, if it ended today, Middle would play at 5:30 on Thursday against Liberty. That would be the 4-5 game. So it's going to be interesting. Every game is going to be something else. FIU is in last place, and they have 5 wins. You've got 3 teams that have already played 15 of their 16 games, and they're all playing each other this week. So,
and they're all almost all of them aren't all of them 6-9.
Yeah, they're all 6-9.
The 3 teams that have already played 15 all have identical records.
And so
it's a log jam.
It is a log jam. So we'll talk a little bit about the schedule and all of that. But Blue Raiders went out to Sam Houston, a team that you faced in the very first week of the season. And we talked about it on the pregame show that your team was a lot different now than they were then. And, I mean, scoring was up. You just about across the board, everything you were doing offensively had been better. But, they weren't tied for the lead for, just because somebody said so. There's
right.
A reason. And they've been a very tough, difficult out all season long for everybody.
They really have, and they've got is 2 really good scoring options, and it's really hard to shut one guy down, let alone 2. And when you watch most nights for them, one of those 2 guys has a pretty big night. And the first time we played him, Davin Barnes was 1 for 11 from the floor. The other night he ended up with 23. It's just it's hard to keep guys like that who just have a knack for scoring and are talented offensive players from not scoring ever. And they've got 2 really good scoring options in those 2. Both are 6'4" strong guards that they're 3-level scorers, and they're good.
Yeah, and I was. It's interesting because I think there's a lot of guys around the league. I mean, when people think of Middle, it's okay. You got to stop Justin Porter, or that kind of thing. When they look about how to defend, and you think about Western Kentucky, and you talk about either their guard or their post player. But with Sam Houston may be the most balanced, or one of the most balanced. And you talked about Barnes. He had 19 in the first half, ended with 23 for the game, but they've got a lot of different options when it comes to scoring the basketball.
They do. They're just tough. They just kind of play the same way. If you watched them 2 months ago, or this past weekend, or next week, you kind of know what you're going to get. They don't play outside of themselves too often. They've got veteran players, so they're a good ball club. They've got 2 bigs. That one is at 6'7" or 6'8", bulky and strong, but Suleiman Doumbia has got good size at 6'11", so they've got post presence that can defend and rebound around the basket. They've got guards that don't turn it over, and they've got two wings in Wilkerson and Barnes that are talented offensive players. You know, you're not going to be able to hold them to 50. In other words, you know, you're going to have to run good offense and be able to score the ball on one end, and on the other, you've got your hands full defensively because they do have balance. They've got guards that can get downhill, big effective wings that we just mentioned, and they've got post players that whether or not they're scoring options, they're always, you can run offense through them because they're always open because of their size. They can put pressure on the rim because of that. So they're a good team. You know, there's a reason they're in first, and you know, we'll you know, have our hands full with them if we can get them one more time next week.
Yeah. Are they one of the harder preps because of their balance?
No, you know, the prep, it's just that at this time of year, you've got to guard plays, but you always have to guard plays and players. And this time of year, the plays are less of a reason you're scoring the ball. You know, even the other night, they call a set and we start calling it out, and our guys knew what was coming. We would go to the other end, we'd call something out, and about 80% of the time, 90% of the time, their players are yelling out what we're getting ready to do. And even when that happens, there's sometimes somebody on either team, it kind of loses it, you know, is staring out into space, and they lose their guy, and it works anyway.
Yeah.
But that rarely happens this time of year for 3 or 4 guys on the same set. Those plays that worked for easy buckets in November and December don't work quite as well in March. And so at that point, you've got to be able to defend players.
Right.
And that is where you do have your hands full. But because, you know, for us at least, when you've got Buford and Jacob Johnson, you at least have the ability to have multiple good defenders on the floor.
Yeah, and you talk about that a lot, that you defend plays for a certain amount of time, and then you'll see teams get toward the end of the shot clock, they'll flatten things out, and that's when you have to defend the player because it's going to be in the hands of the guy they want it. Same for your team.
That's correct.
It's going to be in the hands of the guy you want it to be in.
That's correct. And you know, you want to be balanced enough, and that's something that our team has been working towards over the last couple of months is having offensive flow, offensive identity, but also multiple scoring options. Justin Porter's obviously been playing well for a month plus. Jared Coleman-Jones has now got another scoring option, another offensive threat for us, both inside and out. And Elias King has always been a guy that can shoot the ball. So when you've got a quick scoring guard like JP, a big wing that can shoot it, and a post player who can score in the post and outside, even for us with that kind of balance, then you're able to get quality shots later in the clock. And that's why you've started to see for us our turnovers go down, our offensive scoring go up.
Assists go up.
Assists go up, and that's because of that balance that you're speaking of.
Yeah.
Well, because of Sam Houston's kind of been this team since November. So they've had this kind of scoring balance all year. We've kind of come into this offensive identity over the last month to 6 weeks.
Yeah. Now, after the Western Kentucky game, you didn't play again until the following Saturday, but looking at the schedule, you had a Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday to end it, and we were talking the other day that you kind of looked at that from a player rest perspective. You have to give a day off every however that works out, but you kind of looked at this almost as the Saturday, Tuesday being kind of a normal conference weekend, except Saturday was Thursday and Tuesday was Saturday, kind of. To not overcomplicate the issue.
Yeah, you know, the thing is because of the TSSAA, which we're excited about hosting, we bumped our game back from Wednesday to Tuesday. And so we obviously, that meant that Sunday, yesterday, could not be a day of rest. We needed it to be a day of prep. And that's where being able, I heard Coach Insel talking about his ladies are going to be able to charter to Liberty and back, which is very important for them and their prep for that game, but also their rest and their prep for the next game. We were fortunate enough to, after the Sam Houston game on Saturday, we were able to fly back. And from the time we pulled out of the parking lot at Sam Houston to the time we got in our beds was less than 4 hours. It was about 3 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And when you can get in the bed, I mean, it's not
really makes a
comfortable,
difference.
But yeah, so Saturday night, it's late. It's 1:30 in the morning, but you're at least sleeping in your bed, and Sunday morning you wake up and you're home, as opposed to normally that would be multiple flights, multiple buses, and Sunday's prep for tomorrow's game. It's not going to be very good.
Yeah.
And the difference that makes is really important. So we're very appreciative of our folks here making that possible. It worked really well for us earlier in the year when we went Liberty to FIU.
Yep.
We hope for the same results on the positive side tomorrow as well.
All right, we are live at the Boulevard, right across from campus, corner of Middle Tennessee Boulevard and East Main. We'll take a timeout. More with Coach Nick McDevitt after this on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
Clear.
Not feeling well and need to see a doctor? Find the care you need now at Ascension St. Thomas. We're here with 24/7 ER care, same-day care, and walk-in urgent care for broken bones, sprains, allergies, sore throats, and more. Visit ascension.org/St. Thomas Care to get the right care at the right place at the right time. Serving Middle Tennessee State University, Murfreesboro, and surrounding communities.
Roscoe Brown is proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company for over 80 years. Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com. Put Lee Company on your team to keep you and your family warm this season. Their expert technicians can perform a 22-point inspection and tune-up to ensure your HVAC system is good no matter how cold it gets. Their expert technicians can perform a 22-point inspection and tune-up to ensure your HVAC system is good to go no matter how cold it gets. And while you're at it, ask them how to get endless hot water by installing an energy-efficient tankless water heater. Schedule your appointment today at leecompany.com or give them a call at 615-867-1000. Lee Company, all you need.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
Very nice guy.
Hey basketball fans, this is Coach McDevitt, and I want to talk some trash. No, not about the game. I want to talk about the litter problem on our roadways. Did you know that the Tennessee Department of Transportation spends over $23 million every year just to pick up litter? There's over 100 million pieces of litter on our roadways at any given time, making our state unsightly and unsafe. Litter harms our highways, waterways, even our wildlife. So let's do something about it. Don't litter, remind others not to, and report littering when you see it. We can beat litter, but only if we're all on the same team. Join the movement today. Visit NobodyTrashesTennessee.com and go Blue Raiders.
And now for today's winning Cash 3 and Cash 4 numbers from the Tennessee Lottery. The first number is the number you just thought of. The second number is the number you would have picked. The third number is the day of your wedding anniversary. And the fourth number.
They're only lucky numbers if you decide to play them. Cash 3 and Cash 4, only from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mike's up.
Welcome back into Nick McDevitt Live. Accomplish your vision for your personal or business finances with First Vision Bank. With dedicated banking professionals, products to fit your goals, and advanced financial management tools. Your vision is their mission. FVB.bank, FDIC, equal housing lender. Coach, Blue Raiders at Sam Houston for that game on Saturday night against that group, and you knew you had to be at your best, and you talked about their balance and what that does for them. It keeps them from having dry spells a lot of times. And when you look at how the game unfolded, there were a couple of dry spells for Middle in that game that probably changed the way that the trajectory that it was going.
Yeah, it's hard for them to go on real dry spells because they do have scoring balance. At the same time, when you're playing teams that have that kind of offensive balance, you've got to be really tuned in and playing with an edge defensively because of the fact that they are talented offensive players. They're going to make some shots when you defended really well. You got everything right. It's time to guard the player. You make it a difficult shot, and he makes it anyway.
Yeah.
We've got some guys that can do that. But when you give them a couple of easy ones, 2 in a row, and then on that third possession, a kid makes a very difficult shot, well, now all of a sudden what should have been a difficult shot out of 3 possessions, okay, they got 3 points. You gave them 7 because you had a defensive lapse here and just really weren't guarding hard enough and well enough there. And then a guy makes an incredible shot that he's capable of making once in a while because of his offensive prowess. That's when teams can go on a run in a hurry.
Yep.
And we had a couple of those the other night where you tip your hat to them because it's a very difficult shot, but we had too many where we got coverages wrong or we gave up an offensive rebound put back, and those are the ones that allow teams to go on quick runs. And when you're on the road, you're playing a first-place level team, you just can't give those up.
Yeah.
You just can't. I mean, the chances of them making those kind of shots increase because that's where they practice. That's where they play. They called this set. This is where this kid puts in all his work. He's in his comfort zone. So the chances of those tough offensive shots, plays, it goes up at home. And so you got to know that when you're the road team.
Yep, and you talk about tipping your hat on those. The game was tied at 9, and just like you mentioned, they scored 8 in a row. And so here goes the caterpillar stretches out a little bit. You come back, you claw back, you get it to 4, and then they score 9 in a row. Pushes it back out. Then in the second half, you get it down again close, and they have another one of those spells where they scored 9 of the next 11 points in the ball game. And again, that's where their home court came into play and all of that. But your guys fought all the way down the stretch, and if you don't believe it, ask Chris Loof, because he made the most of his minutes with his family there and played physical. He's been fun to watch develop and mature.
Yeah, I wish we'd have had a little bit more of that kind of fight on the floor because, like I said, I thought it's kind of like, completing an assignment or doing your job. And there's a difference. You kind of doing an assignment just to do the assignment and it's behind you, or you're doing your job to learn what you're supposed to learn at the moment. If you're talking about schoolwork, your job is to learn the information, to get smarter, to know what you're doing, not just to complete the assignment. Well, in basketball, when you're on the defensive end of the floor, like there's times where you got the assignment right, but you're just kind of in front of him. Your job is to keep him from scoring, and so you've got to do that. Those are two different things, and we were just kind of too many possessions where I just thought we were kind of in front of them as opposed to really stopping guys that could put that ball in the basket.
Middle had 4 double figures in the game. Jared Coleman-Jones was our Built Ford Tough player of the game with 18 points and 4 rebounds. Justin Porter had 11, a Houston, Texas native. Justin Buford had 10, and those were 10 hard scrabble points that JB got. And Jacob Johnson, another guy who really gives you a ton of energy and was very good at the free throw line and found, he's not going to wow you with going out and hitting big jump shots and all that kind of stuff. He's going to get there with some blue-collar work, getting to the free throw line and making 9 out of 10 and adding a field goal in there somewhere.
Yeah, and I think that's something that Jake has done a good job of this year for us. Is just the thing that makes him good is he knows who he is. He knows who he is and knows who he's not. And he stays in his lane, and because of that, he can put together good night after good night. It's not always going to be a night where he scores 17, 18, 25 points. That's just not who he is. But he gets the toughest defensive assignment. He and JB, night in and night out, he's got to go in there and play against other guys and play tough and get good rebounds. And the other night, as a guy who's not known as an offensive scorer, still found a way to get in double-figure scoring because of the way he attacks the basket, the way he rebounds, the way he's able to draw fouls. Just plays the game the way it's supposed to be played, and good things happen for him because of it.
Yep, sure do. Sam Houston ends up winning the game, and with that win, put them in a flat-footed tie for the league lead with Louisiana Tech with 2 games left to play. So that is where we are with that. Now we'll be getting ready. We're going to talk a little bit about where teams are right now and do a little tournament talk in our next segment. But want to take a break. We are at the Boulevard tonight. Hope that you're enjoying yourself here this evening. We'll take a timeout. Back after this on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
You buy something because you found it at a low price, and soon you realize it's no bargain because you really needed something better. It happens all the time, especially with car insurance. But the good news is you can get the right coverage at the right price. Just talk to me, State Farm Agent Bud Morris. I'll help you get the right coverage at a price that's right for you. Call me at 893-1417 today. I'm Bud Morris, providing insurance and financial services.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
I didn't see it, but I heard Andy got thrown out.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and makes the competition speechless. Greatness starts here with a built Ford Tough F-150 at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Las Casas Drugs is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, located at 4702 Las Casas Pike, just minutes from Murfreesboro. Las Casas Drugs strives to provide all of your pharmaceutical needs in that hometown atmosphere you deserve. Family-owned and operated, Las Casas Drugs offers free delivery, immunizations, drive-through window, gift shop, merchandise, and medication management programs. Come by and see how we can make a difference. And go Blue Raiders!
Blue Raider fans, with more local brews than ever before, you are sure to find a local favorite this season in the Blue Raider Beer Garden. Enjoy the thrill of the game at the Blue Raider Beer Garden and try our selection of brews from Cedar Glade Brews, Mayday Brewery, or Life is Brewing. All available for your tasting pleasure in the Blue Raider Beer Garden above Section D in the Murphy Center. Thank you, Cedar Glade Brews, Mayday Brewery, and Life is Brewing for your support of MTSU Athletics. MT Dining is eating made easy. With more than 19 dining locations, you will never run out of variety on campus. Whether it's Chick-fil-A, Subway, or Starbucks, we've got the brands you love right here. Need a quick snack or Scantron? Stop by one of the 6 pods on campus and try out MT Dining's new Farm to Fork experience. Farmers Market, now open, located in the Student Union. Visit mtdining.com for more information or visit our office in the Keithley University Center.
Didn't meet expectations.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mic's up.
Welcome back into Nick McDevitt Live, coming to you from the Boulevard. Tonight's show brought to you in part by the Lee Company. Get ahead of the game with the best home services team in town for your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, and home improvement needs. Lee Company is the team to call, 615-867-1000, or online at leecompany.com. Coach, when you look as we go down the stretch and getting ready for the tournament, kind of give a little handicap on who you think's playing well right now, and who nobody wants to. I mean, you're not going to say anybody's playing poorly because everybody is. There's so many teams that are very similar in the league this year, about as much as I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I think a lot of it will just be down to who's healthy and matchups.
Yeah.
You know, that there are some teams that the style of play for you, what you have, the other team, it's a tough matchup. It may not be for somebody else, but for you, it's not one that you look forward to. And there are some teams that, for whatever reason, just they don't match up well together, or for one, they don't match up well for each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the big part of it is that you're in some kind of playing rhythm. You're playing fairly, you're healthy, fairly healthy, as healthy as you can be this time of year. You don't want to be having, pulling guys in and out of the lineup, and now all of a sudden your lineup changes, so your substitution pattern changes. The plays that you're calling changes. Those can be small bumps in the road depending on who it is, or they become really problematic based on who it is.
You've already gone through that this year.
Buddy, have we? And we've had all of them. Obviously the catastrophic happened real early, and then but we've had the others as well. Big Josh went down, so from the being real healthy, that ain't the case for us. But we've had others too, and that's just not this time of year. You've got to be able to avoid the injury bug.
Went through the non-conference schedule and kind of looked up, and those teams, we faced them back in November and December just to kind of, you think you know how teams have been doing, but when sometimes you don't really till you actually look up and see where they are. Middle's non-conference opponents this year have won 124 games, and
in their leagues.
In their leagues, this is just conference games. St. Mary's leads the way. They're the West Coast Conference outright champs in a league with Gonzaga, and they are 15-1, and their league record is finished.
We saw firsthand a long time ago.
Yeah.
A couple months ago, they weren't playing. Their record didn't reflect how good they were and how good they are. And you can see now. I mean, they're now in the top 20 in the country. We were scrambling at that point, and they were starting to hit their stride, and they obviously with those kind of numbers, it's still going.
Yep. UAB, a team we're familiar with over the years, they're 10-6 in the American. Northern Kentucky's had another good year. They're 12. They've won 12 in their league. Belmont and Murray, of course, in the Missouri Valley. Belmont's won 12. Murray 9-11. The two teams we played in the WAC Challenge, Stephen F. Austin they're 8-10. Southern Utah 4-14 right now, but Western Carolina we knew was going to be really good in the SoCon. They've won 11. Ohio U out of the MAC has won 11, and double-digit wins as well for UMKC and Wofford. So what was a very strong mid-major non-conference schedule has proved to be just that here as we look back at it at the end of the season.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a good schedule for us, and you want to be able to try to mirror your schedule for how good you think your team is going to be and the expectations, so that you can try to drive your net by the end of the year based on the team you expect you'll have. And obviously we put together a tough non-conference schedule, and then when you suffer some injuries, you're still going to have to play those teams.
They don't let you go back and redo.
They don't let you put pause on during the middle of the season. So all of a sudden we're reshaping what we were doing in December and January with those guys that you just mentioned coming every 2 or 3 days. And so it was a challenge, but at the same time it was good to see that our guys could handle that difficulty, keep their chins up, and get to a spot where here in the first week of March you have a realistic chance to win your tournament.
Yeah.
You've got to be playing the kind of ball on both sides that gives you a chance to win it and get to the NCAA tournament. And for the guys we still have, they're in fairly good health. Mm-hmm. We're playing some pretty decent ball. We've won 4 of our last 6 and got some good wins, and There's not a team in this league we can't beat, and I would imagine the other 8 teams are saying
the same thing
when you look at the standings. So Huntsville's going to be a fight.
And it starts a week from tomorrow. The conference tournament first games are a week from tomorrow, folks.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
It's the best month of the year. March is the
conference
best
tournaments
month.
are already going, the first week wave of them. And, of
Tonight.
course, yep.
There's some across the country started today.
Absolutely. And, of course, tomorrow night it is Liberty, the home opponent. Tomorrow night, final home game for the Blue Raiders. Again, folks, it is a 6 o'clock tip, not 6:30, tomorrow night at the Murphy Center.
We don't need anybody mad showing up at 6:30.
Nope.
And there's 6 minutes to go to halftime.
That's right.
So it is a 6 o'clock tip.
Get there early. 6 o'clock tip tomorrow night for the Liberty Flames. We'll take a timeout. Special guest tonight, Reggie Upshaw, Director of Player Development, will be my guest after this on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around. After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk.
Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in supporting and treating Middle Tennessee State University athletes, providing expert treatment of injuries to bones, joints, or muscles. TOA's team of orthopedic specialists can get you back in the game. Same-day appointments and walk-ins are welcome. Injured? Visit one of our many ortho-urgent cares, or to make an appointment, call 1-855-NEED-TOA or visit www.toa.com. TOA, the official team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics.
You know, I've always wanted to go on a tour of the West Coast. No rush, just take it all in, one view at a time.
We all have things we hope to do someday. At Ascend, we offer great rates and share our profits to help make your someday soon.
They were giving you some love on TV.
And you better believe I'm renting a convertible.
Ascend Federal Credit Union. Open your account today.
Stuff like that.
RJ Young is your playbook for more than just copiers. Our cutting-edge solutions cover security systems, business phones, IT services, and beyond. We've teamed up with world-class partners to save you even more through bundling services, and our dedicated specialists are your personal coaches, making sure you always have the winning strategy. Don't forget our We Make It Right guarantee. Your satisfaction is our slam dunk. Schedule your free consultation now at rjyoung.com/MTSU. The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association?
Really?
Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing. Update your information and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Kroger always gives you savings and rewards on top of our lower-than-low prices. And when you download the Kroger app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. And with a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. So you can always save big every day with our savings and rewards. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
That's the conference records of our non-conference opponents. Go ahead, we're back.
2, 1, mic's up.
Welcome back to the Boulevard tonight for the final edition of the regular season of Nick McDevitt Live. Glad to have you along with us here this evening. Earlier on Coach Ensel's show, Courtney Whitson was the guest of Dick Palmer and Kyle Turnham, and I would say that they had as their guest a future Blue Raider Hall of Famer. I am positive that my guest tonight is a future Blue Raider Hall of Famer. That is Reggie Upshaw. So, Reg, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing just fine. How you doing, Chip?
I'm doing good. Nick told me back in the summer, he goes, what do you think about Reggie coming and helping out our team? I said, man, that's going to be great. And and it has been a lot of fun. And you know, he wanted to have this team exposed to a player who had done a lot of things here and at this university, and it all happened at the same time that your professional career was kind of winding up in Europe, and you had an opportunity and I guess a want to get into coaching. We'll kind of dive into that a little bit, but it seemed like a very good match up, and to have you as a guy who's done it, to be able to be there and help guys develop. So kind of take us through that process a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a simple process. My playing career was coming to an end just because of some health things. And so I, reached out to a couple of coaches and asked for guidance on what I should do or how I should, try to jump into the coaching world. And that's when, I obviously thought about coming back to MTSU. And so the first person I reached out to was Coach McDevitt. And we set up a meeting, went into his office for about an hour and a half, just kind of caught up, talked about the team, talked about, what I wanted, what he wanted out of the role that I'm playing here. And then it just kind of got going after that, just day after day coming in, working the guys out, just being around, everything really, just trying to talk to them, give them as much insight into the college basketball world, as well as, a couple of guys are seniors, so they want to play professionally. So I talked to them just about, my professional career and just trying to give them some pointers or some insight on, the things that I went through both as a college player and as a professional, and just trying to really just help out in any way I can.
Yep, 7 years as a pro in Europe. Tell us where the stops were.
So my first stop was Germany, and then after that I went to Spain, Italy, Israel, quick stop in Ukraine before the war, then back to Germany, and then I finished out in Belgium.
Yeah, and your experience, for the most part, good?
I had a great experience. Even the spots like Ukraine where there was so much uncertainty just with, what was going on between Russia and Ukraine, my experience was still amazing. I met a lot of great people, played for some great coaches, and anytime you can get out and live and work in a different culture, I definitely suggest it, not just for myself, but for anyone who has opportunity.
Yeah, and also you were exposed to European style of basketball. And how did that expand your thoughts on the game and how it can be played?
It expanded it more than I even thought it could. At first, as a rookie, you get over there and you're so used to being more athletic than everybody. But once I got over to Europe, I realized there's more to the game of basketball than just the physical part or the athletic part of it. Like, you have to constantly be thinking about what you want to do next, or even one or two plays in advance. So like my rookie year, there was a ton of growing pains just with trying to anticipate the next move or the next two moves down the line. But once I kind of figured that out and settled in and got more comfortable, my game improved, my mental IQ about the game improved. So that was my biggest adjustment.
And it's a much more open type of game offensively, isn't it?
It is. It's more high ball screen, but it's still kind of the same. There's great shooters all over the court. So if you got a great point guard who can hit you when you're open, it makes it tough to play defense no matter where you're at.
In your travels in Europe and wherever, how many times did you get asked about what happened in March of 2016 when you and your teammates knocked off Michigan State?
More than I could count, for sure. I still, every time we go out to a different arena, or even when we're playing at home, I'll have referees and even guys on the other team will come up and say, "Man, y'all's team did a great job." Not just the 2016 season, but even the following season when we beat Minnesota. So it feels like it just kind of follows me wherever I go.
This past Saturday, what was the guy's name again that was doing color on television?
Richard Hendricks.
Richard Hendricks. He grew up and went to Giddy Potts' high school in Athens, Alabama, and then most recently he was playing pro ball in Japan and played against Perrin Buford, who Perrin has just been wearing out the Japanese league. But right now I think Middle has 11 guys playing professionally around the world. But he gave you some love on TV. But you know what I see guys talk, when I see people on TV, they talk about, oh, when Middle beat Michigan State, one of the greatest upsets of all time. You guys kind of take a little umbrage with that because I think there was a thought in that locker room that that was not the upset that some folks in the media thought it was. You all felt very highly of your opportunity that week.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as soon as the bracket, I think the bracket got leaked a little bit before, so
that was that year, wasn't it?
Yeah. So a few people kind of knew, obviously right before they announced that we were going to be playing Michigan State. But once it became official and you see your name kind of pop up on the March Madness bracket, whatever it is, we were excited. I felt like, just as worried as we had to be about them, they had to worry about us because we weren't your normal team with a guy that was 7 foot and another guy who's 6'10". Like, we were all kind of the same size, so we knew we were going to switch 1 through 5. And we knew that they'd have trouble with their bigs for sure, trying to match up with myself and Darnell and Perrin. Yeah. And it was, that day was something else. And, one of the murals going up one of the ramps over at Murphy Center is what I call the cherry on top. It was your dunk at the end of the game, and my partner Kyle Turnham breaking decorum on press row as he is up and giving it the 2 fists right there. But we were all, that was such a terrific way to end it because you never trailed in the game, and it is certainly one of the all-time great moments in Blue Raider basketball history. And then to come back the next year and just again take care of business against Minnesota. You played for Coach Davis and that staff. Now you're working with a different staff. Has it been just an opportunity to open your mind and soak it all in and know that there's so many different ways to go about it and learn how to handle people and all of that? Absolutely. I mean, there's great things that I learned while I was playing for Coach Davis, and there's great things that I've learned, being on staff with Coach McDevitt. But one thing that they both have in common is the fact that, they're great leaders. They treat everyone with respect, and you can tell, the way the guys interact with Coach McDevitt that, he's really trying to imprint, the right things on the guys. It's been a tough season as far as like injuries and whatnot, but even through all that, we've faced adversity, and we're really starting to see our team uptick and trend in the right direction at the right time. Yep. This week, big week, because Liberty's a hard team to guard by their style of play. Louisiana Tech, very skilled, very talented. What do you see this team needing to do and how they need to go about it this week to continue that trend going into the tournament next week? Just do the same things. This past month, we've been playing a lot better. So, I mean, we don't need to change anything as far as, going out and trying to do anything outside of what we've been doing. But as far as looking towards the conference tournament, we just got to keep doing the same things that we've been doing over the past, 2-3 months, ever since, we've started kind of seeing that turnaround. Yep. Now that you've gotten your feet wet just a little bit in the coaching business and being part of staff meetings and all of that, how has that got you set up in your mind of where does Reggie want to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now? I mean, I definitely still want to be. Or 5 minutes from now. I definitely still want to be, in the coaching game. I don't know where. Hopefully at MTSU forever. But, I love being a coach. I love being around the guys. I love the competitive nature of just college basketball in general. So, I mean, for myself, that's what I want, just to be around. Well, I'm glad you're around, and I'll say this. People will ask me a lot of times, how good was Reggie in college or whatever. They'll see. I said, I'll tell you what, I've been around middle basketball for 42 years now since I came to college, 42 since I came to college. And I said, there may have been better shooters. There may have been a better rebounder.
Kevin Kanaski had a ton of assists. I said, but the all-around best player to have ever worn the uniform here is Reggie Upshaw. In my opinion.
Thank you.
So, and I'll tell you right now, just even thinking about your senior day and what you did that day, I can't think about it and talk about it because it was one of the most emotional things I've ever seen, and I think you know where you hit me when you did that. So it meant a lot to me, and it's been a blast after 7 years of you being elsewhere around the world, and we would, basically talk to each other via Facebook messages or whatever to be back together on the road again and having a lot of fun.
Oh, I've had nothing but a great time this whole season. Like I said, I just wanted to come here and help out, and I thank Coach McDevitt for the opportunity to not only get my foot in the door, but to help the guys as much as I can. And yeah, I've had a blast.
Good deal. Appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Reggie Upshaw has been our guest tonight on Nick McDevitt Live. We will take a timeout. Coach will rejoin me right after this as you listen to the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
Clear.
MT Dining is eating made easy. With more than 19 dining locations, you will never run out of variety on campus. Whether it's Chick-fil-A, Subway, or Starbucks, we've got the brands you love right here. Need a quick snack or Scantron? Stop by one of the 6 pods on campus and try out MT Dining's new Farm to Fork experience. Farmers Market, now open, located in the Student Union. Visit mtdining.com for more information or visit our office in the Keaton University Center, room 202.
This responsible gaming message is brought to you by the Tennessee Lottery. When you play the lottery, it's important to play responsibly. Know your limit and spend only what you can afford. Set a budget and stick to it. And remember, as long as you're having fun, you're always a winner in our book. The Tennessee Lottery is a proud supporter of National Problem Gambling Awareness Month. To learn more about problem gambling resources, visit tnlottery.com.
Roscoe Brown is proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company for over 80 years. Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com.
City Auto Murfreesboro welcomes Mitsubishi to our dealership at 1015 Bridge Avenue off Old Fort Parkway. Visit our new showroom and see the new Outlander lineup with award-winning safety features and a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Named #1 in customer satisfaction by J.D. Power. Plug into the Power and the Outlander. Plug-in hybrid and take your tailgating to a whole new level. Shop City Auto online or in person and win with Mitsubishi.
RJ Young is your playbook for more than just copiers. Our cutting-edge solutions cover security systems.
I said, what do we got here?
IT services and beyond.
It's time.
We've teamed up with world-class partners to save you even more through bundling.
And we'll talk a little bit about Liberty too.
Specialists are your personal coaches, making sure you always have the winning strategy.
I am going to get you to respond to him.
Okay. Your satisfaction is our slam dunk. Schedule your free consultation now at rjyoung.com/MTSU.
You buy something because you found it at a low price, and soon you realize it's no bargain because you really needed something better. It happens all the time, especially with car insurance. But the good news is you can get the right coverage at the right price. Just talk to me, State Farm Agent Bud Morris. I'll help you get the right coverage at a price that's right for you. Call me at 893-1417 today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm Bud Morris, providing insurance and financial services.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mike's up.
Bud Light, proud sponsor of Middle Tennessee State University Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light. Don't forget tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, Middle Tennessee and Liberty at the Murphy Center. A 6 o'clock tip again. Coach, we just had Reggie up here, and really, what has it meant to have, what you wanted from him when you first had a conversation and what he has delivered to you and your guys?
Oh, he's been great. I mean, they don't come better than Reggie Upshaw. You know, I knew Reggie as a player. You know, his that 2016 team, that great team that you guys were talking about that beat Michigan State.
Well, before he goes in the bathroom, if I remember right, he played against you in Alaska,
yes.
and had to wear the moose hat on the
Yes.
on TV
Yes,
twice.
that's correct.
Because he was the game MVP.
Yeah, in the Great Alaskan Shootout, myself and our staff, we were still at UNC Asheville, that great Middle Tennessee team. We faced each other in Alaska. A team from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and Asheville, North Carolina went to Anchorage, Alaska to play each other. But yeah, that was a really, I respected him a lot as a player. You can see why he's a driver of winning. You got to have guys on your team that can be a part of winning, but you got to have some guys on your team that they drive the winning that is going on in your program. Reggie Upshaw drives the winning, and that's what we wanted. Somebody who's not only won, but they did it here. He is a winner, and somebody that our current players, they want to do what Reggie Upshaw has done.
Yeah.
That is win here, be in the NCAA tournament here, become a professional basketball player, do things the right way. There's no better role model for our current student athletes than Reggie Upshaw.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very well said. And, you know, speaking of driving winning, you were 5-0 last week on the 5 random questions. So we'll see how that works out here on the final night.
I'm going to need some assists again then to be 5-0.
It's always good to drop a dime somewhere, right?
Hey, I got some assists.
Looking for an assist guy. Okay, this one is kind of an opinion question. Number 1, what superhero would make the best basketball player?
Oh, what do you think, Coop? Superman?
I'm going to go with Plastic Man.
Plastic Man?
Yeah, he can stretch.
All right. I don't know. I'm going to go with Superman.
It's hard to go against Superman in any answer on that. Speaking of Cooper and his sister Katie, I'm curious, was there any debate with you and Lauren on their names when they were born?
Not really. Not really. We knew we pretty much knew Cooper.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of debate with Katie, but we settled in on that. That, as we have heard from other couple friends, can be a heated and hot topic. Ours never was that way. Once we kind of hit on, we knew this one was going to be Cooper.
Yep.
That's for everybody that doesn't know. That's Lauren's maiden name. And so we knew that was happening. And speaking of Katie,
there's Miss Katie right there.
Don't leave me out.
What is your favorite pro sports team? I don't think I've ever asked you this. What your favorite pro sports team?
Which sport?
It doesn't matter. What is your if you had to have
the
one
Atlanta
favorite,
Braves.
Atlanta Braves.
The Atlanta Braves.
I think there's some folks in here who would agree with you.
Yeah, I grew up, when I was young, before 1991 when they went worst to first.
Yeah.
Man, there were some lean years where the day before the game or the day of the game, you could get some pretty good tickets at Fulton County Stadium,
Yes,
not too far behind the dugout. So, yeah, I grew up going to Atlanta Braves games. Dale Murphy was my favorite player when I was young.
Yep.
It was Bob Horner when I was real little, but during the years where I was Cooper's age, I was a big Dale Murphy fan.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite baseball cards.
Yep. I got to meet him a year ago
I know,
now.
you told me.
I know.
You showed me the
He was just as great then as back when he was a player. Okay, you played Sam Houston. The namesake of the university is Sam Houston. He was governor of 2 states. Which states were they?
Tennessee and Texas.
Very good.
Bam!
He was also
Thank you, Don Witherspoon.
He was also president of a foreign country. What foreign country was he president of?
Mexico.
The Republic of Texas, before it came in as a state. So there you go. And the final question, have you ever been stuck in an elevator? Have you ever been stuck in an elevator?
No, I haven't. But on our recent trip, we had a couple that did,
Yes.
including Reggie Upshaw.
Yes.
Reggie Upshaw and Reese. got stuck in the elevator.
The
at
fire
Sam
department had
Houston.
to come?
So the fire department had to come and get him out. About 4 years ago, 5 years ago? It was 5 years ago.
Yeah, in Birmingham.
We were at UAB.
Yeah.
And about half our team was stuck in the elevator.
Yeah.
And we had to leave them and go start warm-ups for the game without them. So knock on wood, I've been fortunate to where I do not want that.
No.
I don't want to be stuck in an elevator.
Me neither. Well, thanks for being a good sport. That's it for 5 random questions for the season. We will take a timeout. Back to wrap it up after this on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
Hey, basketball fans, this is Coach McDevitt.
You're happy about that.
No, not about the game. I want to talk about the litter problem on our roadways. Did you know that the Tennessee Department of Transportation spends over $23 million every year just to pick up litter? There's over 100 million pieces of litter on our roadways at any given time, making our state unsightly and unsafe. Litter harms our highways, waterways, even our wildlife. So let's do something about it. Don't litter, remind others not to, and report littering when you see it. We can beat litter, but only if we're all on the same team. Join the movement today. Visit NobodyTrashesTennessee.com and go Blue Raiders.
Hi, this is Coach Nick McDevitt. Ascend Federal Credit Union is the proud sponsor and exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics. Visit Ascend's branch just off campus at 2316 East Main Street or any of their 3 other Murfreesboro locations. You can also keep track of your accounts and deposit checks on the go with Ascend's mobile app. For a complete list of services, ATMs, and locations, visit ascend.org. Ascend is federally insured by the NCUA.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing. Update your information and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Not feeling well and need to see a doctor? Find the care you need now at Ascension St. Thomas. We're here with 24/7 ER care, same-day care, and walk-in urgent care for broken bones, sprains, allergies, sore throats, and more. Visit ascension.org/St. Thomas Care to get the right care at the right place at the right time. Serving Middle Tennessee State University, Murfreesboro, and surrounding communities.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mike's up.
Want to thank Nathan Wallach and Allison Dahl, our video producers, Talik Pratt, our audio producer, our support from our university administration coming to our shows. Appreciate that so much. And all of you who have been here all year. Final week, let's do it right. Starting tomorrow night, Liberty. They're a tough team to guard, but it's going to be fun tomorrow night.
Yeah, they test your defensive discipline. They're always moving on that side of the ball. They'll always have 5 guys who are skilled out on the floor. So they test you. You've got to be alert and disciplined and active, and you've always got your hands full with them. Rich McKay does a great job year in and year out with his group. They always improve towards the end of the season. So we have to play well tomorrow.
Yep, the atmosphere at the last home game against Western Kentucky was outstanding. Great. We need to recreate that.
Yeah, that'd be great. We've won 5 in a row here at home, and tomorrow's the last one of the year. We'd like to finish out on a 6-game winning streak at home and head into Huntsville on a hot streak.
All right, let's go get them.
Yes, sir.
All right, for Coach Nick McDevitt, this is Chip Walters saying thanks for being with us tonight. We'll see you at the Glass House tomorrow night. Until then, for the Blue Raider Network from Learfield, we say good night from Murfreesboro.
Bud Light, it's for the fans. Ascend Federal Credit Union, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics. And by Ascension St. Thomas